All right, folks, we are going to do a little bit of a different type of yoga today. We have done some of this kind of stuff at the clubhouse before, so we're going to get a little creative because you have to use props for this kind of yoga. And by props, I mean pillow, blanket, couch cushion sometimes. That's a restorative yoga is what we're doing. Restorative is very like nurturing and relaxing. It's not as movement oriented as other types of yoga. So we're going to be kind of like chilling out and subduing ourselves today. We use props to make ourselves feel really supported and really comforted. So that's the purpose of that. So if you have a pillow or a blanket, something that you can use, feel free to grab that. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, just whatever you have lying around. And we're going to do a few poses, nothing too intense, and then we're going to move into that relaxation session at the end. So for some of these poses, I'll have to be looking away from the camera to do the pose. So just try to follow along with my voice as best you can, or you can look and see how I'm modeling it. But first, we're going to start off in easy seat. So you're going to sit cross-legged wherever you are. If you have a mat, great. I know a lot of you don't. That's okay. You can just sit on the floor. Shoulders back and down. Let's put our hands on our belly and take 3 of the deepest breaths you've taken so far today. Breathing in. Holding at the top of the breath and breathing out. Let's do that again. Breathing in nice and deep. And out. Really lengthening that exhale. Breathing in. And out. Keep breathing deep on your own. And just notice where your body is making contact with the floor. And feel the support of the floor, almost like it's pushing back on you. Awesome. We're now going to swap to a tabletop position, so that's all fours. Your shoulders are above your wrists. And we're going to do cat-cow. Cat-cow is where we're going to be stretching our back. So cat pose is like a cat that gets scared and arches its back. And then the cow pose is bending down, almost like you're letting your just big cow udders just kind of like dangle down, which that's really not a great description, but it's really good for stretching your spine. So you start off by breathing in, cow pose, letting your spine kind of sink down, and then breathing out, cat pose. Tucking in your tailbone, chin to chest. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, cow. Exhale, tucking in that tailbone, tucking in your chin. Let's do 2 more of those sequences. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat pose. Excellent. Come back to a tabletop position. You're going to take your right hand and you're going to thread it through your arm, between your arm and your side. You're going to thread it through and lay down on that shoulder. I'm not sure if you can see me from the camera, but you're taking this hand, you're threading it through, and you're laying down on your right shoulder. You can bring your left elbow down to touch the floor. And just stay there like that for a second. Coming back up to tabletop, same thing, other side. I'm going to turn myself so you can see me better. Take your left hand, thread it through, and just lay down on that left shoulder, and you can put your right elbow to the ground. Your hips should be square. And just lay here for a second. Awesome. Coming back up, we're going to do bridge pose. This is if you have a book or something kind of firm that you can use, you're welcome to use it for this. I have a yoga block, but you can get creative with whatever you've got. Like I said, a book, like a thicker book would work fine. Even like an Amazon box like might work for you. So something about this size. We're going to do bridge pose. You also don't have to have a prop at all. You could just hold the bridge pose, but I think it would be easier to relax in the pose if it's being held up for you. So you're going to go ahead and come down to your back. Your knees are up, your feet are firmly planted on the floor, your hands are to your side, and you're just going to raise your hips. So you can hold this pose without any prop, that's fine. But if you have a book or something, you can set that under your pelvis, your hip bones, and just let it sit there. If you're holding it without a prop, that's fine. You're welcome to come back down to the mat and take a break when you need to. For those of you that are using a prop, just sit here for a second. Check in with your breath right now and see if you're continuing those deeper breaths. Excellent. We'll take one more deep breath here, breathing in and out. All right, coming back down to the floor. I really hope you can see me. Take your right ankle and set it on top of your left knee, like you're crossing your legs. Grab the back of your left thigh and just pull that towards you. Your head is down on your mat. Just sit there for a second. This is a nice kind of quad stretch, glute stretch. It's great because you get to pick the level of difficulty for yourself. Just hug it towards you to where you feel that nice stretch, but obviously don't go too far. Breathe into that sensation. Send some good breath down there. Notice where your back and your shoulders are making contact with the floor. Awesome, let's go ahead and swap sides. So both feet firmly planted. You can kind of windmill or windshield wiper your knees if that feels good to you. Kind of massage out your low back. Same thing other side, left ankle on top of your right knee. Bringing that right knee back, just holding it. And if you're feeling that stretch, just again, breathing in, sending that breath down to that sensation, and then breathing out. Noticing again where your back is making contact with the floor. One more deep breath here. Excellent. I got somebody waiting. I'm gonna let them come in. In my video, thanks for joining us. I'm gonna mute you, and we're gonna keep going. We're laying down right now. Join if you can. We're going to go back to being on our backs. I want you to put your feet straight up in the air. Imagine that there is a book sitting on top of your feet, and your hands are down by your side. And just hold this for a second. Again, if you're feeling sensations, breathe into that sensation, sending your breath down to where you're feeling the stretch. They say that these type of poses in yoga are good because it sends the blood back to your heart to filter out if you've got any like yucky toxins and stuff chilling in your body. So let's just presume that that's what's going on. That way, if we've got any negative stuff, that we're sending it back to our heart for it to filter out. Awesome. Slowly lower your feet down to the mat. We're going to enter into our last pose, okay? So this is where your props can come in handy. If you have a pillow, you can put that under your head, or you can use a folded blanket. And then we're going to put the bottoms of our feet together. So let's go ahead and get where our head is. So pillow under my head. I'm also, for fun, going to roll up my blanket and put it under my low back. I think that will feel pretty good. This is where this restorative yoga comes in handy because you get to kind of do whatever you want with the props. So if you don't want to put one under your low back, that's fine. But we're going to put the bottoms of our feet together. Again, I hope you can see me. But the bottoms of my feet are together. My knees are kind of pointed outwards. My hands are down to my sides. And my head and neck are supported. So let's just sit like this for a second. This pose is called Reclined Bound Angle, or Angle, sorry. I said ankle because I think about your ankles are tied up. Let's take 2 more deep breaths in this pose. Breathing in again. In restorative yoga, you can hold poses for 15 to 30 minutes, just one pose. So if we were doing this in a studio, you might be sitting with more props involved, but with this pose for 20 or 30 minutes. They usually do it with your back lying against like a couch cushion, so where you're like propped up like you're laying on a recliner instead of laying flat on the ground. But this is a popular one that they do for a very long time. So we're now going to move into our last pose, which is our Shavasana. So if you've got your head supported already, that's great. If you've got your low back supported, great. This is where that blanket comes in. I want you to stretch your feet out in front of you and place something under your knees if you can. We're going to have our feet, remember we do this in the clubhouse where we lay out flat on the ground. This is exactly what we're doing. So my knees are supported, my neck is supported. If you want, you can cover yourself with a blanket. Just find something that makes you 5% more comfortable than what you are already. Go ahead and make that small adjustment, whatever it takes. You can put the blanket on top, blanket under your low back. blanket under your feet. I mean, again, they can get really creative with the props, but just whatever feels good and supportive to you. I'll put one under my low back. I've got a blanket under my knees. Hands are upward facing the ceiling. I actually don't want this under me. So make those small adjustments and then just settle in where you are. Go ahead and start breathing in and allowing your body to become really still. The only movement should be the rising and falling of your chest as you're breathing. I want you to notice the points of contact you're having with the floor. Feeling grounded. And as we're laying here, just checking in with your body. Noticing maybe what question your body is asking or what your body is asking for. If it's asking for sleep, if it's asking for food, if it's asking for warmth. What is your body asking for today? A blanket is good to have because in restorative yoga, since we're not moving very much, we can start to feel cold. Our heart rate slows down. So we start to feel cold, which is why you're welcome to put a blanket on yourself if you would like. Whatever makes you feel super cozy. I love restorative because it's like the cozy yoga. We're going to lay here for just another moment. Just breathing in deep. Noticing where the ground is supporting you. Noticing the rise and fall of your chest. When you're ready, you can roll over to one side and just stay there for a second. Giving yourself just like a little hug as you're laying on your side there. When you're ready, you can come back up to the easy seat. Legs crossed, hands on your knees or in your lap. Let's take in one more deep breath. And releasing. Again, one more deep breath. A healing breath, a renewing breath, and breathing out anything that we need to let go of. When you're ready, you can open your eyes or bring your attention back to the screen. Thank you for doing yoga with me. Restorative is always available to you. It's great to do before you go to bed at night. It can help with insomnia. It can help you check in with your body and just wind down. It's a great wind down exercise. So I appreciate you showing up. I think that was an awesome thing to do for your body. Your body will thank you. Your mind will thank you. And I hope that you have a great rest of your day.